We're here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where Joe Biden is holding his first campaign rally.
It is my honor and pleasure to introduce Vice President Joe Biden, the next president of the United States of America.
Practically the smallest amount of people I've ever seen here. It's not a big crowd size as compared to many Trump rallies that we've seen. This is typical of Democrat candidates, so they don't tend to have as big of turnout. This is not a really big venue either. It's a rather small building behind me that was filled up. But overall, it's interesting because I talked to some of the shirt guys who follow around the presidential campaigns, and what he said is that he's noticed that the Democrat campaigns have much smaller turnouts. So let's go talk to some of these Biden supporters. What do you think about Biden?
Biden? Not a fan.
Not a fan?
Not a fan.
Why are you here then?
I'm here just to see what he has to say.
Anybody to beat Trump. Anybody to beat Trump. But I like Joe Biden. I think he's very intelligent. He's very sincere. I think he's mature, experienced. And I think he has what it takes to beat Trump.
Very impressed with him.
Who said I liked Biden?
So what brings you out here?
What do you like Alex Jones? Why do you work for him? How much does he pay you?
What brings you out here?
How much does he pay you? Are you sleeping with him?
That's a pretty, I would say, sexist comment to make against a female reporter, that I have to be sleeping with my boss in order to have a job. That's pretty low. That's pretty low. Do you like Biden?
I'm looking at the field and doing my homework.
What do you hope to hear from Biden today?
A plan for our future.
What do you think about Donald Trump?
What am I on? Not very much. I think he's a piece of work.
He wants to build the wall. He is anti-immigration. He has produced tax cuts for the wealthy, and has spread a lot of hateful rhetoric.
We're tired of Donald Trump. He breaks every treaty, every agreement. The man's never kept his word once. So now we want somebody in office that can actually speak the truth to America. And we need some truth.
Are you sure it's not just because you disagree with the policies that Trump is pushing forward?
No, I disagree with the entire man, his policies, his personal behavior, his immorality.
Did you know that Trump actually supported segregation in 1975? What do you think about what that says about him as a person?
Well, he's a scumbag.
It came out that he advocated for segregation in 1975. Would that surprise you? And what does that say about his character?
Nothing would surprise me that what Donald Trump has said. Segregation, it could be what women. I have a 20-month-old granddaughter and a 32-year-old daughter. I'm very disgusted with this presidency.
What do you think about people that would support someone for candidacy for president that once advocated for segregation?
I think I don't think that's a good platform.
He's a segregationist. He's a racist. He's an idiot. What else can I say?
What if I were to tell you that that was actually Biden who supported segregation in 1975?
I wouldn't believe you.
I think the concept of busing, which implicit in that concept is the question you just asked, or the statement within the question you just asked, that we are going to integrate people so that they all have the same access and they learn to grow up with one another and all the rest, is a rejection of the whole movement of black pride, is a rejection of the entire black awareness concept.
Everybody changes, but Trump's father was actually a member of the Ku Klux Klan. Yes, he was. He was arrested in 1926 in New York City at a Ku Klux Klan rally.
Learning that about Joe Biden, about him supporting segregation in the past, does that change your opinion about him?
No, absolutely not. And I don't believe that he did either.
What if I were to tell you that that was actually Joe Biden who supported segregation?
I thought you were going to say that. I mean, that's very disappointing, but people can change, and yeah.
Would you ever support someone that advocated for segregation?
Possible.
Joe Biden was advocating for segregation in 1975.
Give us some context on it.
Yes.
Give me the context on it. Explain that.
He was
subject.
advocating for school, basically black and white children to stay in segregated schools
In
at
what
the time.
area? In what area?
This was in Delaware.
In Delaware. So he wanted that to happen in Delaware. Is that correct?
Yes, he was.
In what year?
This was in 1975.
Okay. And it was based on what? What was his reasoning behind it?
Well, I mean, we should ask him what his reasoning behind
No.
that was.
You brought
Why
up
would you
the
want to have
subject.
segregation?
We brought up the subject. It's from 44 years ago. So you're obviously versed in it.
So is that something you might ask him today at his
could
rally?
possibly ask him that. Yes,
To
I'd like to know.
clarify why he was
I'd
advocating
like
for
to
that?
know the answer of that. Yes, and I bet Joe has a reasonable explanation because he's a reasonable gentleman who's proven himself for almost 50 years in this country.
32-year-old liberal Democrat Joseph Biden of Delaware led the fight for his anti-busing amendment. He says he did it because busing just isn't working. And he's afraid his older liberal colleagues are blind to that fact and to how a lot of blacks feel about their children being bused to white schools.
In the 70s, Joe Biden advocated and promoted segregation when he ran for office in Delaware.
You should be ashamed of him.
I'm not ashamed. Why would I be ashamed of myself? This is undisputed. This is true. You just don't hear about it in the mainstream media because they don't want to show those truths about Biden.
True. You espouse fake news.
Where did you hear that from?
I'm an educated voter.
What news do you listen to?
Realistic news, real news.
Like
CNN.
Okay. So CNN's not fake news when they've been touting this Russia collusion conspiracy and they just got proved wrong with that when the Mueller report came out?
Have you read the Mueller report?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know that there really was collusion, and
if there were collusion, there would have been criminal charges pressed against President Trump or any of the other people surrounding his campaign that were being investigated.
They said that they can't, they believe that they can't indict a sitting president, so they wouldn't indict him.
That's not true. He's been under investigation for 2 years.
See, what do I say? Right?
You've had congressmen talking about impeaching him for years. They would definitely impeach him. Okay, so what information do you have that I'm a bigot?
I'm not saying you particularly, but your organization is.
How? What has Infowars done that's bigoted?
I don't have time to stand here and talk about it.
No, because you seem so certain in your viewpoint that we're bigots. What evidence?
Just as you are certain that there was no collusion, I am just as certain that your organization is a right-wing bigot.
Okay, and where's your evidence?
The right-wing smear machine has gotten Alex Jonesified.
1776 will commence again if you try to take on firearms.
That man is Alex Jones.
He's one of those guys who believes that Bigfoot was responsible for 9/11.
I heard it on Alex Jones, so I know it's true.
Alex Jones.
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 From Infowars.
Infowars.
You watch Infowars?
Infowars.com.
Infowars.com. Infowars.
Infowars.
Bill Clinton is a rapist. Infowars.com.
Bill Clinton is a rapist. Infowars.com.
Bill Clinton is a rapist.
That's according to website Infowars.
Infowars. It's a radio show hosted by Alex Jones.
Alex Jones, nice guy.
Infowars.com.
Infowars.
Infowars.
Infowars. Infowars.
What's happened with Infowars? I would love it if you would follow up also about Alex Jones and Infowars.
Alex Jones obviously is a well-known conspiracy theorist whose brand is bullying.
You didn't call me to testify in America. I have a right to face my accusers. And you, Congressman Deutsch, are a liar and a fraud.
I know we had Alex Jones in the room earlier, promoting conspiracy theories.
Infowars founder Alex Jones is calling out alleged collusion between Google and Democrats.
Shame on the mainstream corporate media for not defending the First Amendment.
Infowars just lost their war on info. Yesterday, Apple,
iTunes,
Vimeo and Spotify,
YouTube, Twitter,
and Facebook have all blocked Alex Jones and Infowars.
Who is the most banned news network in the world?
Infowars comes to mind.
Alex Jones, which has now been taken off of Facebook, thank God.
CNN waged a long campaign against Jones. It worked. Jeff Zucker silenced and deplatformed his show. It was a stunning defeat for free speech.
Hello, this is Hank Hill, and I'm telling you what, you need to listen to Alex Jones.
If you are receiving this